And then, of course, leads to another question about the green line, but we'll get to that in just a few moments. Your name, sir?
Nicholas Herrera.
Hi, Nicholas. Nicholas has a question for you, sir.
What preparations has the city of Calgary taken towards the Syrian refugees aside from housing?
Oh, thank you for asking that question. The community has done unbelievable work. I feel like all I'm doing is giving people URLs to go to. Calgary.ca/Syria, that's an easy one. But we're actually very good at this in Canada, and we're very good at it in Calgary. Most people don't know that Calgary welcomes at least 1,000 refugees from all over the world every year. So while this is an increased number, it's stuff we know how to do. And so a really wonderful organization called the Calgary Catholic Immigration Society is leading up the efforts in Calgary, utilizing many different nonprofits and government agencies, including the province and the city. But this stuff's really important. We have to remember that those people who are coming are fleeing unspeakable violence, unspeakable trauma. And it is really important that when they get here, we give them the best possible start in their new life as Canadians. That's everything from making sure they are welcomed at the airport, to ensuring that they have access to language skills, to making sure that the kids, when they start in the school system, have all the supports that they need. And you know, I've been hearing so many great stories across the community on people who just want to help. So I was at James Fowler High School recently, and the students there told me, you know, we want to set up English language tutoring, not only for the kids who end up at this school, but for the younger kids in particular who end up at nearby elementary and junior high schools. During the flood, there's a very famous story of a woman called Bev who brought volunteers together to make heirloom quilts for every family that had lost everything, so each of them would have an heirloom. And she phoned me totally unsolicited 2 weeks ago and said, Mayor, we don't have time to make that many quilts before they come. So instead, I'm calling out to all knitters in Calgary, because I want to make sure that we knit hats and toques and mitts for all of these people as they hit their first Canadian winter by the time they get here. We've had First Nations groups say that they want to make sure that every family is welcome to this land with a drumming ceremony. So all of these things make a huge difference, because they're all mental health interventions. They're all really helping these people get past the trauma, knowing that they're in a place of safety and sanctuary, and they're going to do well here, and their kids are going to do well here.
The last count, Mr. Mayor, we hear about 1,300 Syrian refugees are coming here to Calgary, of which we also hear that half are children. So there has been a bit of concern as well, too. Folks are saying, well, wait a minute, jobs. Can you address that?
Absolutely. So let's remember that last year, in the economic downturn, we added 3,000 people a month to Calgary. 3,000 people a month. So to add 1,000 or 1,300 people over the course of several weeks and a few months, this is a big and resilient economy. We can handle that. And as I said, a lot of these folks are going to be in language training. They're going to be settling down. And so I imagine that they will be entering into the workforce in dribs and drabs. And our workforce is big enough and resilient enough to be able to absorb that. If we couldn't absorb that many people over the course of time in this economy, we'd be in a much bigger economic downturn than we are.
You wouldn't have said yes, Mr. Mayor. You would not have said yes.